Welcome to Fred Taylor Park in Whenuapai, Auckland, New Zealand. It's the opening match day of the OFC Champions League 2013 and it's ASB Premiership champions, New Zealand champions, Waitakere United up against Tahiti's best, AS Dragon. The conditions here at Fred Taylor Park are overcast. The playing surface has one or two marks from the grand final that we witnessed here almost 2 weeks ago, but other than that, conditions are perfect for a good game of football. Let's take a look at some of the games around Oceania. Solomon Warriors at home to Amakal, while Hikari are facing up against Bar, and elsewhere AS Mondora hosting Auckland City. Just one change from the team that won the ASB Premiership title. Matt Caneen is out of the side and Tristan Prattley starts at left back. It's been a month where success has smiled on coach Paul Marshall and he's got a number of new recruits waiting in the wings. Familiar names there for AS Dragon: Mikael Roche, Tamatoa Wagman and Raimana Lifangqui, and also Nicola Vella are all Tahitian internationals in some form of football. And of course the FIFA Confederations Cup means that one or two of these Tahitian players will be looking to put their hand up as the selection process continues for national team coach Eri Eta. Well, last season, Waitakere opened the OFC Champions League with a thumping 10-0 win over AS Tefana, yet it was Tefana who prevailed to go on and make the final. It will be interesting to see if that will play out the same way today. The referee for the match is Rakesh Varman of Fiji, and he is assisted by Chris Walken, Glenn Lockery, and the fourth official, Mirko Benishka, who was also the fourth official for the ASB Premiership Grand Final. 4 championships in a row for Waitakere, but it's been 5 years since they last lifted the Oceania title. That was back in 2008 when they beat Kossa of the Solomon Islands by 6-3 on aggregate. And it's quite remarkable to think that Waitakere have had to wait so long between trophy opportunities. They've grabbed every trophy going in the domestic scene here in New Zealand, the ASB Premiership of course, the ASB Charity Cup, and they also managed to grab themselves the minor premiership, so a domestic treble of a sort. 10 Alan Pierce, 12 Roy Krishna, 16 Tristan Prattley, Jake Butler, the Waitakere United skipper, has compiled an impressive career in National League football for Waitakere and for himself of course. 127 domestic matches, 21 goals for Butler, but just 1 goal in OFC Champions League competition. Nicola Vella, well, it's been a busy couple of years for the Dragon skipper. FIFA Confederations Cup is looming, of course. The FIFA World Cup qualifiers have been something of a write-off for Tahiti. They were beaten 1-0 by New Caledonia in their last match, and they have an awesome task ahead of them in June. 14 of the AS Dragon squad have Tahiti international connections of some type. Tianui Teho, of course, is on the bench, and cousin Jonathan is starting today. Alvin Teho, the third in the Teho clan, is not part of the AS Dragon setup. How they could have used him today. This is a Waitakere team that don't know the meaning of defeat. They've played 18 games at home in the OFC Champions League. They've lost just 1, and that record is intimidating to say the least, because they also average around about 3 goals per home game and less than a goal against conceded. AS Dragon playing their first OFC Champions League match. Waitakere, this is their 37th. And the danger man will be Roy Krishna, the Fiji international, who takes the ball from his compatriot Rakesh Varman. Outstanding goal scoring ratio for Roy Krishna. 14 matches, 19 goals. It's quite a ridiculous ratio when you think back over the years of domestic football in New Zealand. No other player has come close to matching it. Benjamin Totori did net 24 in 21 games. for young Hart Manawa too, but Krishna is the second highest goal scorer for Waitakere in OFC Champions League football with 11. Alan Pearce has 14. And we're underway at Fred Taylor Park for season 2013. Prattley's header. Matthews joins in. And a free kick conceded almost immediately by AS Dragon. Henri Carouin, the offender. Well, Chad Coombs' delivery was a decisive factor in their victory over Auckland City in the grand final 2 weeks ago, the ASB Premiership grand final. He's got plenty of targets in that box, 5 Waitakere players to hit. It's a low and flat cross that is hooked clear. Raimana Lee Funkui with a wayward pass to Coombs, all the way back to Danny Robinson. Long ball by Robinson is headed away by Yannick Vero. Well, AS Dragon have lost just one game in their own domestic championship. 10 rounds into Division Federal, 9 wins, 1 loss. Prattley trying to find a way past to hook a crossover. Raimana Lee Funkui doing the defending. Tristan Prattley been in and out of the side since the January transfer window, but he played a key part in the win over Auckland, coming on as a substitute. It was his cross that led to Roy Krishna's equalising goal, with virtually the last kick of the regulation 90 minutes. Oh, and this is a wonderful piece of skill by De Vries. Tamatoa Wagman's conceded a corner. Well, this is where Waitakere are always dangerous. We saw that throughout this season. Coombs is a big, big part of the West Auckland outfits attacking Arsenal. Brian Shelley, Tim Myers are all in there. They've both got 3 goals apiece in the domestic season. Not a bad ball. Good take by Mikael Roche. Dragons international goalkeeper tries to get things started with a quick throw out. Borbert. Vincent Simon coming back inside to Nicola Vallard. And the foul conceded by Coombs on Henri Carouin. Well, Nicola Vallard, also something of, I would say, celebrity in Tahiti, having worked in television for a period of time. Brian Shelley's long ball finds Vallard, who plays it first time to Borbert. Carouin. Now Wagman. Hooked in first time by Vallard, picked up by Aaron Scott. Here is Coombs' early corner. It was low and flat to the near post. Myers was lurking. Taken bravely by Roche. Kabale's in possession now for Dragon. Sam Matthews battling away. He's conceded a free kick. Vincent Simon will get things going. Takes it early for Vallard. Vallard going long. And he's found a teammate. The flag's gone up though. And although the ball is in the back of the Waitakere net, we will restart with a free kick. Rakesh Varman having a chat to Stevie Chong Hui about playing after the final whistle. Robinson with a kick. Brian Shelley has had an impressive season for Waitakere United, the Irishman. Myers, De Vries, first time pass for Prattley's got space to work into. Looking for Alan Pearce, it's cut out by Wagman. Coombs whips in a inventive cross away by Simon. Matthews. Here is Aaron Scott, recently restarting his international career with the All Whites. Well, Chad Coombs is called up for a foul on Nicola Valar, and it looks as though Rakesh Varman is going to play things extremely tight here today. The referee. One of the features of last season's opener against AS Tefana was the sending off of the Tefana goalkeeper inside the first 5 minutes. That really altered the way that match turned out. It was a bizarre game. Roy Krishna scoring 5 goals. Well, Matthews has a free kick for his troubles. Aerial ball and just sideswiped by Hermano Borbert. Robinson's ball. Flighted in Valar's header. Jonathan Teho links up. Raimana Li Fun Kui again. It's given away by Li Fun Kui. Former beach soccer international Raimana Li Fun Kui, which of course is a topical subject at the moment in French Polynesia with the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup being hosted there. It's good shape from Waitakere, standing up to Borbert's attack. Vincent Simon was looking to push on. Coach Ludovic Grounard has encouraged his fullbacks to bomb on in support of their attacking players. That's a good throw by Pearce. Krishna, this is exactly what he likes to run onto. Good defence from Tamatoa Wagman. It's a defender's nightmare to get caught in a foot race with Roy Krishna. 55 goals and 75 domestic appearances for his club, Roy Krishna. That's a heck of a ratio, and then you throw in the 11 goals he scored in the Champions League. And that just illustrates what a quality player he is as Coombs fires this in. Oh, it's not far away. Brian Shelley got plenty of space to work the header. Plenty of warning early on for Mikael Roche and the AS Dragon defence. Well, it is a club with a famous name in Tahiti, AS Dragon. 40 years they've waited to lift a championship. Prattley hooking that ball clear. It's fallen to Coombs. Butler's got onto it. And De Vries can't keep that in. Borbert's first touch has let him down, but AS Dragon, of course, although a Tahitian club, have links with the Chinese community in that country. And one of their more famous sons is a former Chinese international. We'll come back to that in a moment. Here's Butler. It's another corner for Waitakere. Another opportunity perhaps for Brian Shelley and Tim Myers to get on the end of a Chad Coombs delivery. They're a team at the moment that look as though they are in full flourish. Coombs wound in. It's away by Karaween. Back in by Prattley. This time it's Wagman. Borbert's in there. Raimana Li Fun Kui cuts inside De Vries. He's going to need help. Sam Matthews halting that Dragon counter-attack. Now it's Matthews again. Wore a hefty blow in that grand final. Drew blood. It was Alex Fenarides who crashed into him. He's looking well now, though. Well, Pearce is looking for a free kick. He's not going to get it. Kabale. That's a lovely touch by Teho, Jonathan Teho. Now Valar. Teho again. Sorry, that was Stevie Chunghui. Well, they're looking pretty sharp, AS Dragon. Haven't always been able to say that about some club sides that have ventured westwards towards Champions League competition in New Zealand. Here's Karaween. That's a good ball intended for Yannick Vero, but it's gone out. Perhaps not such a good ball in the end. Of course, commentator's curse creeping into my vocabulary there. De Vries, Alan Pearce, beaten by Ball-Bear. Valar, Kabale, Vincent Simon looking for the overlap. Still with Kabale, tries to switch play. It's the right idea, the execution let him down. Raimana Lee-Funkui was not too sure whether or not to go for it. Coombs decides to take on Wagman. Oh, and it's going to be a throw-in for AS Dragon. I thought that was possibly a Waitakere throw, but referee's decision, of course, final, and no correspondence will be entered into. Coombs' first time ball. It's not a bad one. That's a nice header by Nicola Valar. Now a counter-attack for AS Dragon. They've got players pouring forward. Vincent Simon. Stevie Chunghui. Oh, and Chunghui's away. Raimana Lee-Funkui at the far post, and Brian Shelley gets something on it. It ends up in the arms of Danny Robinson, but there's an alert for Paul Marshall. AS Dragon just sparked into life. Nicola Vella. Displays it wide for Stevie Chunghui. Plays it first time. Jonathan Teho. Chunghui. Ball-Bear. That's a good ball by Ball-Bear. Opportunity to cross by Teho. It's cut out by Scott. Ball-Bear's retrieved it. Lovely piece of skill. He just can't complete it. Pearce back doing some defending. Valar. Karaween. Good period of play here for AS Dragon. Shelley. Well, Waitakere just looking to slow the pace of the game down. Take some of the sting out of AS Dragon's momentum. Certainly shows that this team has been together both at club and international level, even in the first 14 minutes or so. Karaween. Coombs picks it up. De Vries trying to work something with Krishna. De Vries again. Oh, he's past Valar, but there's no Waitakere player within Kiwi of that cross. Mikael Roche. He was second choice for the national team to the man who's on the bench for AS Dragon today. That's Xavier Saman. And then at the OFC Nations Cup, he worked his way into Coach Eddie Eta's good books as we see Vincent Simon pouring forward with this left foot cross. Oh, and that's headed straight into the path of Chunghui. Now Waitakere can break through Matthews. Excellent ball. Well, the idea was excellent. Again, the execution wasn't as good as perhaps it first looked. That's a great ball in by Vincent Simon. And the header by Prattley fell straight to Stevie Chunghui. And it struck Brian Shelley. Well, Dragon showing They have plenty to offer. When they won their Tahitian Championship, they did it without losing a match. That was last season. They've only lost one this. So over the course of roughly 24 domestic matches, they've only been beaten the one time. Coombs looking in the mood today, Chad Coombs. That's a lovely pass by Coombs. Scott with a great overlapping run. That's a good ball in. Easy one for Roche though. Good tempo to this one. There was the overlapping run. Vincent Simon can't prevent Scott from whipping the cross in. But a goalkeeper of the stature of Mikael Roche is always going to claim those sorts of crosses easily, given his height. Simon looking for options. Finds Paul Pierre. Tamatoa Wagman. Shelley. Lovely shift of the hips by Brian Shelley. He's getting pressed high by Dragon though. Pearce wins a header. Valar. Simon. Raimana Lee Funkui popping up on the left. Jonathan Teho. Stevie Chong Hui. Well, he was looking to get a shot away until Butler intervened. Simon. Henri Karawin. He's given that away cheaply. It's picked up by De Vries. Well, Tristan Prattley's debut in the OFC Champions League. Well, clipped forward by Coombs. Wagman's header. Nicola Cabale couldn't keep that in. It's with Waitakere United. Played first time by De Vries, straight to Wagman. Paul picks it up. And Stevie Chong Hui, well, he should have really been looking to get something solid on that. It's given straight back to Waitakere. Scott playing it into the channel, picked up by Valar. No hard feelings between Nicola Valar and Roy Krishna. Fascinating start to this OFC Champions League 2013. Of course, the other two clubs in this Group B are Auckland City, defending champions, 4 times Oceania champions, and New Caledonia's AS Mondor. They kick off on Saturday as well. 5 p.m. New Zealand time, 3 p.m. Noumea time. Chong Hui, not a great touch from Stevie Chong Hui. Prattley tries to work it up the line. It's picked up by Henri Karawin. You can just see the confidence of the AS Dragon players just starting to pick up a wee bit. Shelley punching forward now. Aaron Scott. And Scott and Krishna are not on the right page. Picked up by Valar. Mikael Roche. Wagman. Well, the Wagman-Valar centre-half partnership is going to be crucial for AS Dragon throughout this competition. Wagman getting away with a bit of a cute header back to the goalkeeper. Myers' header that's commanding from the centre half. Now Krishna up against Yannick Vero. Well, AS Dragon want to just watch themselves when they get into those sorts of situations. Sorry, that was De Vries, particularly against De Vries and Krishna. Vero and Simon both playing wide left and wide right for Dragon. De Vries. He's won himself a corner. Sorry, a throw-in for Waitakere. I beg your pardon. Now Prattley. Coombs hooks it in first time. Oh, and did that strike an arm? That would be an interesting one to see again. Chad Coombs electing to just spin and rifle one across the face of the 6-yard box, and it appeared to hit Nicola Vella on the arm. Simon with his switch of play. It's a good ball, but the bounce takes it over the top of Nicola Cabale. There is Coombs whipping it over. Nicola Vella, ooh, very difficult to tell. Shelley looking for options. Goes short to Pearce. Now Scott. Alan Pearce is Waitakere United's all-time top goal scorer in the Champions League. 14 strikes to his name. Krishna earns a throw-in. Pearce. Scott with the cross to the far post. Roche can't get a glove on it. Nicola Cabale looking for an out ball here. Well, he's given that straight to Chad Coombs. Matthews. Now Coombs. Shelley. Myers. De Vries' touch only goes as far as Vero. Vincent Simon. Well, that was an important interception by Simon. Now Raimana Lifankui taking on Shelley. Sam Matthews snapping away at his heels. It's a corner for Dragon. Good work by Raimana Lifankui. Raimana Lifankui played for an Oceania 11 against the LA Galaxy at Mount Smart Stadium nearly 5 years ago. And a back four that included Ivan Visilic and Stephen Old. It's going back some time now. 3-0 that match finished to the LA Galaxy, but he's done well here to earn Dragon this corner. What can the Tahitians present to Waitakere? Cabale to the far post. Easy one for Danny Robinson to collect. Wagman and Krishna getting tangled up. There's no foul. Vella forcing Aaron Scott to flick the header out for a throw. We're in the 24th minute. Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0. Match day 1 of the OFC Champions League. Coming to you from Fred Taylor Park in Whenuapai. Here's Raimana Lifankui. Well, Karawin goes to the floor, but the referee has continued play. That ball by Pearce is a bit of a stretch, but Butler's going to get there. Mikael Roche had to race out a goal to get a glove on it. Yannick Vero. Well, there's complaints from the AS Dragon bench. They felt that their man, Henri Karawin, was fouled. Referee Rakesh Varman is bringing play back just to check on the health of Karawin. Well, that looked fairly innocuous. Physical, but fair.
Waitakere United would like to thank ASC, DB, Grimshaw & Co., Snell Packaging, Lotto Sportswear.
Well, one of the chief differences in this season's competition is that two teams advance from the group section. In the past, it's only been the group winner that has gone on to a two-leg final. This season, the 2 teams to advance from the group will then play a 2-leg semi-final, and there is a one-off final that will be hosted in Auckland on May the 19th. And that home and away fixture is going to present something of a challenge should Waitakere United be amongst the final 4. Their away record in Oceania competition is not the best. They've only won 5 games from 18. They've been beaten 7 times. And only one of those was by Auckland City, which just goes to show you how difficult it is playing away from home in the OFC Champions League. It brings into play a raft of different factors: climate, travel schedules, injuries and suspensions, of course, but there has been an all-round general improvement in the standard of club football in the Pacific region since 2005. Mikael Roche. Nicola Vella clips on forward for Vincent Simon. His header back into the centre half area. It's dealt with by Brian Shelley. It looked as though it hit the hand of Hermano Borbert. Wagman's header. Just every so often, Waitakere's pressure on the ball carriers forcing AS Dragons players into these round the corner one-touch passes that aren't being linked up. Testimony to the industry that Paul Marshall demands from these players. They had one of the best goals against records in the ASB Premiership for 2012-2013. And it really only showed signs of coming apart in the playoff series. But when you've got a player like Roy Krishna, as Waitakere do, they found they could outscore most teams even if they conceded 3. Lee Fung Kui straight to Butler. Matthews. Myers tries to pick out Tristan Prattley but can't find him. Well, in the 2 weeks before, or between the end of the ASB Premiership and the start of the OFC Champions League, Coach Paul Marshall has been in recruitment mode as we see De Vries's cross cleared by Valar. And while this is more or less a side that competed in the ASB Premiership, there are a raft of imports on their way to West Auckland to reinforce this already impressive side. De Vries has earned a corner. Chris Palmer, Billy Colton, 2 English forward players touted to arrive, and all-white Jeremy Christie, formerly with Tampa Bay Rowdies and the United States second tier, is also on his way as Coombs takes his corner to the near post, away by Stevie Chong Hui. Raimana Lee Fung Kui goes through the back of Roy Krishna. Well, he's picked up the free kick. I'm sure it always looks different down on the pitch as match official. So coming up to the half-hour mark, we're in the 29th minute. Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0. Karawin. Free kick, AS Dragon. Well, some of the patches on the Fred Taylor Park surface that you can see have been covered over by sand. And that is making footing underneath the players somewhat uncertain at times. Pearce. Simon's header. Borbert. Teho. That's good play from Stevie Chonghui. Now, Kabale switching play to Raimana Lee Funkui. Pops up on the right this time, up against Prattley. Still with Raimana Lee Funkui. Paupere. Karawin. Good defending from Roy Krishna. Now De Vries. He's in one-on-one against Tamatoa Wagman. Nicola Vella has just emerged to provide support, and there is the Dragon skipper, Scott. First time cross, claimed by Mikael Roche. Lee Funkui. Paupere to his left. Vero. Well, casual and sloppy from Yannick Vero. Here's the cross from Aaron Scott. Almost a carbon copy of the one we saw earlier that Mikael Roche claims. Coombs trying to find a way through this defence. Vincent Simon paused. Oh, and a chance. Roy Krishna. He's got Roche at his mercy, and it's off the line. AS Dragon living dangerously. And it all came from the Yannick Vero giveaway just moments ago. It's put Dragon under all sorts of pressure. It just shows you the margins of error that are permissible in this competition. Here's another look at it. Coombs did ever so well to get by Nicola Vella, but this hesitancy by Vincent Simon allowed Roy Krishna to set that shot up, and look at that. Vincent Simon made up for his mistake. And then the follow through was not normal Roy Krishna standard. Back with the action. Vella. Paupere. Played first time by Vero. Stevie Chonghui. Raimana Lee Funkui. Jonathan Teho. Well, again, it's that final ball, isn't it? And Waitakere are just trying to close up that gap between their defence and their midfield, limiting the space that Dragons players can operate in. But here's an opportunity for Vella. Still going, Raimana Lee Funkui. Corner for AS Dragon. Well, it's all going on here at Fred Taylor Park. Nicola Vella took a whack in the head for his troubles. Well, it looks as though he might have wore one off Tim Myers. Raimana Lee Funkui will take the corner. There are two targets at the near post. One is Yannick Vero. The other is Nicola Kabale. Kabale comes short. Now Raimana Lee Funkui. Change of angle. Goes to the far post, but he's overhit that. Danny Robinson passed the 100 game mark in domestic football at the ASB Premiership standard this season just gone by. The first goalkeeper, in fact, to pass the 100 game barrier since the inception of the ASB Premiership in 2004. Foul conceded by Nicola Vella. Alan Pearce is the wounded player. Well, Vella was public enemy number one in the FIFA World Cup qualifier between the All Whites and Tahiti in the Stage 3 match that took place here in New Zealand. That turned out to be Ryan Nelson's final game for the All Whites. That was played in Christchurch. Here's another look at it, and leading with the elbow is always going to get you picked out by referees, and that's what Vella did. Coombs, measured cross, away by Vella. De Vries. That's not a bad ball, one for Pearce to jump at, away by Vella. Well, Roy Krishna's making a case here. Rakesh Varman not having any of it, and it will be an AS Dragon free kick to restart play. Well, Nicola Vella is a very intelligent and articulate individual in both French and English. He's an engaging conversationalist, and he's showing here just how important he is for AS Dragon. That's a good ball. Borbert with a chance. Oh, good save by Danny Robinson. Robinson read it like a book. But Waitakere have been opened up probably for the first time in this match through the middle. Borbert was able to make his run from midfield and just creep in between the centre halves. There is the run, expertly timed as well. Just got between Shelley and Myers. Scott kept them onside as we see this corner come in, away by Matthews. Karaween, well, De Vries has won it off Karaween. Wagman in. Raimana Lee-Funkui. Nicola Kibale trying to take on Prattley. It's not the best work, not the best end product at least. Pearce a bit sloppy with his clearance. Oh, and that is sloppy work all around by Waitakere. This will be driving Paul Marshall crazy. He kicks every ball, the Waitakere coach. We're in the 37th minute. Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0. Raimana Lee-Funkui to take the corner. Goes to the near post, and it's just wide. Yannick Vero with a header. Well, Waitakere are getting a real shake here from AS Dragon. Just a variation on the corner that we saw earlier. Kibale still made the run towards the taker, but it was whipped into the near post, and Vero couldn't get it on target. Karaween. Raimana Lee-Funkui. Picked up by Jake Butler. Myers. Fascinating game to call for you today on match day 1 of the OFC Champions League, the revamped competition. Shelley looking for options. Butler. Karaween pressing high. Scott. Straight to an AS Dragon player, Jonathan Teho. Lee-Funkui. Teho. Well, he's played that through for Stevie Chong Hui. Simon's come to support now. He can cross them. Left and right foot. Goes for a shot. Away by Shelley. Pearce. Well, De Vries trying to be cute, and Raimana Lee-Funkui's picked up on that little ruse. Vella. Karaween. Well, the confidence is flowing through AS Dragon at the moment. Wagman. Karaween. Vella. Looking to play that ball in behind Tristan Prattley, but he's read it. Raimana Lee-Funkui is now out of the picture. Wagman, the centre half, goes to confront the ball carrier. Now Yannick Vero. Throw into Waitakere United. There's just some rain starting to fall here at Fred Taylor Park. Intriguing stuff. Coombs. He's looked the likeliest of the Waitakere lineup today to do something. Simon. Kibale in front of him. Just looks to hold things up. Myers. Well, one element of this AS Dragon team that stands out for me has been their fitness levels. This looks like one of the fittest Tahitian club sides I've witnessed. Perhaps indicative of the amount of international football that some of them have been exposed to over the last 18 months. Don't forget there were 5 games in the Solomon Islands. Well, Nicola Vella is in trouble here. It's a yellow card for the AS Dragon skipper. Now, Valar is prone to brain explosions of this type. We've seen it in international football. Look at how high he went with the boot there. Now, there are Waitakere United coaches outside the technical area. And Mirko Banishka is going to have to restore some sort of order here. Sam Matthews is giving Glenn Lockery a piece of his mind. And Aaron Scott has been hurt for sure. Looks like a bag of ice on the jaw there. Now, if Waitakere United are to muscle through this controversial moment, they're going to have to try and put this out of their minds. Confirmation of the yellow card for Nicola Vella. First one of the OFC Champions League for the season. Now, we saw this, of course, in the ASB Premiership Grand Final, and it didn't really throw Waitakere United off their stride. Here's another look at it. Oh, and Vella really with an MMA-style kick. Aaron Scott always seems to be in the wars in these sorts of games. He took a horrific knee injury against Bar last season in a televised game. As we see Coombs restart things. Valar, the offender, the previous infraction, winning the header. Matthews. Coombs. Krishna. Karaween with a wild and perhaps unnecessary clearance. Corner ball. Well, it may have been the type of incident that has just lit a fire underneath Waitakere United. This would be an awesome time for the host team to grab a goal. Just over 3 minutes of the first 45 minutes remaining. Coombs. Myers couldn't win the ball off Yannick Vero. It's back with Coombs again. Bends one in, away by Karaween, only as far as Krishna. Away from Borbert, there's the shot! Oh, and it's not far away. Good effort by Krishna. Look at this, just evades Hamano Borbert, lines it up with that right foot, tried to keep it down, but he's just sprayed it wide of Mikael Roche's left hand upright. Shelley thought about a longer pass, perhaps intended for De Vries. Coombs is pushed further forward. Shelley, he's got Myers to his left. Prattley now starting to move forward. Goes all the way back to Robinson. Well, Dragons starting to press all over the park here. And it looks as though it's worked for them. Valar's picked it up. Now Karaween. Stevie Chong Hui. Raimana Lee Fung Kui. Simon. Picks out Wagman. Vero. Can't connect with Borbert. It's back with Chad Coombs. Pearce. That's a good ball by Pearce. Ryan De Vries. He can line up Krishna or Coombs. There's a shot. Good save by Roche. Might get a second go at it. De Vries takes on Vero. And it's a goal kick. Pressure off AS Dragon. First shot stung the palms of Mikael Roche. The second, now I think he just got undone by the playing surface there.
There'll be a minimum of 2 minutes at a time for this first half.
Mirko Benishka, the fourth official, just below us, indicating that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes additional time to be played at Fred Taylor Park. Kabale climbing all over the back of Jake Butler. It's still with Waitakere. Here's the pace of De Vries. He shrugs off Vero. Can he get past Wagman? Nice little interchange, but the end product was missing. De Vries and Krishna. And that has been the difference from Waitakere in the ASB Premiership and the first half of action that we've witnessed here. Just a little bit of end product missing. With regulation 45 minutes are up. Good tackle from Wagman. Ball Bears picked it up off Jake Butler. Karaween. Well played, Karaween. Teho. Raimana Lee Funkui up against Scott. He's going to need some help here. Raimana Lee Funkui. It arrives through Simon. Well read by Brian Shelley. I tell you what, Shelley. Well, there's some controversy for you. Foul conceded. Well, I think Rakesh Varman has called that on the basis that Shelley has apparently pulled back Vincent Simon. Borbert trying to clip one in for Kabale. Header only goes as far as Wagman. Now Vero. Kabale again. Karaween. Teho, and that brings to a close the first half of action here at Fred Taylor Park in Whenuapai, Auckland. It's been a fascinating first 45 minutes. Very tight game.
No score at half time.
But fascinating nonetheless. Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0.
Just a reminder that the club rooms are open upstairs. The kitchen and the bar are operating. Downstairs, the tuck shop. We
can now take a look at some of the highlights of an intriguing first half in the OFC Champions League Group B match here today. Just 12 minutes in, Waitakere United got opened up. It was Stevie Chonghui who got on the end of this. Cross struck Brian Shelley. And in all truth, there weren't exactly a lot of numbers pouring forward for Dragon at this particular point. 3 minutes later, it was Waitakere's turn to exert some pressure. Aaron Scott's cross to the far post, plucked out of the air by Mikael Roche. Vincent Simon perhaps could have got closer, but no danger in the end for the visitors.
And we acknowledge the great community support that we received from Q Sports Foundation. And
31 minutes in, moment of controversy. Vincent Simon got caught napping on the ball. Mikael Roche came out, and a chance for Roy Krishna to put Waitakere 1-0 up. Vincent Simon there making up for his first error. And Roy Krishna's attempt to lash one in with the volley turned out to be something of a failure. But look at this hesitancy from the Dragon defence. They nearly got punished for it. A big let-off for Ludovic Gragnard's team. Most unlike Roy Krishna, that second attempt at finishing. 5 minutes after that, this opportunity for Hermano Borbert beat the offside trap. Danny Robinson, though, had read it, came out to provide the cover. And just before the break, Roy Krishna with this right foot shot, trace a bullet right across the bows of Mikael Roche. But it was never going to trouble the goalkeeper with the spin that Krishna applied on it. So half-time at Fred Taylor Park, Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0. We'll have more action for you very shortly. Welcome back to Fred Taylor Park. It's Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0 in the OFC Champions League. Match day 1, Group B opener. And we're just moments away from a restart here No changes for Waitakere at the break. They've had few and far chances, I think, because Roy Krishna was a player who had the best chance in the first half. He snapped onto some hesitant defending from Vincent Simon and Tamatoa Wagman, but saw Simon win that duel, clearing it off the line.
Next week we have another home game, Waitakere against Auckland City.
Now, in 4 previous matches with Tahitian club sides, Waitakere have won all 4 at home. They've beaten AS Manaura twice and AS Tefana. 4 wins from 4, a total of 17 goals for and just 2 against. So history still favours the West Auckland club to emerge from this victorious. But what we've seen so far from AS Dragon will have their supporters somewhat encouraged. Pearce for Aaron Scott. Now Coombs. Matthews, well, that's not a great touch from Sam Matthews. Neither was that pass by Raimana Lee Funkui. Prattley, De Vries, Butler tidies up for Waitakere. Matthews again. Given straight to Yannick Vero. Now Borbert. Now this is a good opportunity for Dragon to counter-attack. Well, Kabale's offside. Assistant referee Glenn Lockery was on top of that. Vero, Borbert. Vero tries to work it to Raimana Lee Funkui. It's back with Waitakere United. What will Paul Marshall's halftime team talk have provided for his charges? Oh, and a chance for Chad Coombs, still with Coombs. And he stabs it past the left-hand upright of Mikael Roche. Good chance for Waitakere. Good ball from Pearce. De Vries got involved. And then Chad Coombs just poking it wide. Myers. Picked up by Tristan Prattley. Vero. Prattley again. Deflects off Borbert towards Valar. Karawin. Wagman. Kabale loses out to Prattley. Now Myers. This game's still very tight. Good win by Krishna. There's no player running off him, although the offside flag has gone up on the far side. Tamatoa Wagman, of course, has had some exposure to professional football in France. But he's not a regular feature in the starting 11 for the Tahitian national side. He has picked up 1 or 2 caps in the OFC Nations Cup and in Stage 3 qualification. It's a good ball for Yannick Vero to latch onto. Prattley's managed to handle this danger, and a goal kick. Throw in for Waitakere, awarded after that header by Valar. Krishna trying to link up with Aaron Scott, who was providing another of those lung-bursting overlapping runs. Pearce. Another throw in. Well, Pearce does have a long throw, but he's going to surrender this to Aaron Scott, who plays it off the back of Pearce. Well, some quick thinking by Aaron Scott. I wonder if Alan Pearce knew much about that. First 5 minutes of the second half. Waitakere 0, AS Dragon 0. In the opening Group B fixture of the OFC Champions League 2013. Karawin's header, it's a good one for Borbert. Sprays it wide for Lee Fung Kui. Borbert again. Well, he was looking for Lee Fung Kui. It was cut out by Prattley. Now we're with Karawin. Vincent Simon with an overlapping run on the left. Cuts inside Pearce, goes to ground. Well, that looked more clear-cut than some of the others. And an opportunity for Nicolas Cabale to show us what he's got from set play. And the dead ball, as we see Vincent Simon. Well, once you get into that position as a defender, you're always in a bit of trouble. Cabale, oh, and it's fallen for Chonkwe, and the shot by Borbert. Well, there's AS Dragon players queuing up for a shot on goal. Now Simon with a shot. Sprayed wide. So wide, in fact, it's gone out for a throw-in. Anxious moments for Waitakere United. Well, if you cast your mind back to first time a Tahitian club came to the OFC Champions League, and I say that with apologies to AS Pere, who played in the club championship. It was AS Manaura in 2007, and Waitakere beat them both times, 2-0 and 2-1. That's a good ball forward for Pearce. Valar is being commissioned to provide some cover. Now, Paul Marshall and Paul Temple, who is the assistant coach at Waitakere, may be wondering what sort of changes they could make to try and change the flow of this particular fixture. They've got a squad packed with talent. Milos Nikolic and Louis Del Monte spring to mind first and foremost, although Masaki Nomoto, the Japanese attacker, is extremely good on the ball. Now, Vero, wide on the right. That's a good ball in. There's no takers for AS Dragon. Aaron Scott has provided cover. Now Coombs heads it only as far as Borbert. Jonathan Teho with an opportunity. Blocked by Shelley. Waitakere are under the hammer at the moment. Karawin. Vincent Simon launches a high ball in that Danny Robinson will just clutch gratefully. Myers for Matthews. Shelley. Now Prattley plays it first time. It's picked up by Vero. Things just starting to creak a little for the home side. Pearce. Krishna up against Wagman. Well, that's what Waitakere want to try and do, is get Roy Krishna on the ball in some of these one-on-one situations. Prattley, very familiar cross from him, taken by Roche. It was from that type of delivery that Krishna scored against Auckland City 2 weeks ago. Lee Fung Kui's long ball for Cabale. Well, Nicola Cabale's come up with it. Teho, switch of play to Lee Fung Kui. Simon with the overlapping run. Still Lee Fung Kui. Borbert with a back heel. Oh, and Raimana Lee Fung Kui First time shot with the outside of the left foot, and it goes straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Waitakere, nervy moments for them. And still the Dragon attack continues. Vero trying to play Lee Fong Kui in. Away by Myers. Now there's going to be a substitution for AS Dragon. Ludovic Graunia, the coach, is withdrawing Nicola Cabale.
Substitution for AS Dragon.
And Sylvain Graglia is coming on.
Cabale being replaced by number 17, Sylvain Graglia.
Krishna up against Wagman. This is where Krishna flourishes. But he's not able to do it this time. Lee Fong Kui, that's a good first time ball for Stevie Chong Hui. Chong Hui back for Lee Fong Kui. Vero, Karaween. Vincent Simon in plenty of space. Waitakere right back in their own penalty area. He goes by one. Clipped into the near post, picked up by Robinson. Ten minutes of the second half gone. Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0. Such a tight match. Few opportunities so far. Few clear-cut opportunities. It's been far from the goal frenzy that Waitakere opened with last season. Now Krishna up against Wagman. Fires it straight into Wagman, only as far as Pearce. Well, two successes for the AS Dragon defence, not allowing any crosses to be wound in. Pearce for Matthews. Jake Butler. Myers. Prattley, he's got a target to hit there in Coombs. And Tamatoa Wagman is dragged down. That's a free kick. Frustration starting to show for Chad Coombs. Well, the effect of Tahiti winning the OFC Nations Cup on Tahitian football at large has seen something of a shift in mindset in that country in terms of their football. There is a belief among this squad, talking to the coach Ludovic Graunia, that the FIFA Club World Cup in Morocco is a very realistic target to be set. If nothing else, Tahiti's win at the OFC Nations Cup has seen some walls tumble down in terms of self-belief. And I think we're seeing some evidence of that here today. This has been a very tidy performance by Dragons so far. And the yardstick I use to measure that is some of the football I've witnessed in Oceania over the last 6 or 7 years. AS Puree in 2005 and 2006 set the benchmark high, but thereafter it was AS Manaura, AS Tefana, and it wasn't always pretty in preparation or execution when they took to the field, except when playing at home, of course. That always seems to give club sides from outside of New Zealand a bit of a lift. Now Chad Coombs has a free kick quite some way out. Tim Myers, Jake Butler and Brian Shelley have moved forward anyway to try and become a part of this. Shelley's header. Too high, not going to trouble Mikael Roche. Well, Shelley is a player who's impressed me for Waitakere United. He had a wonderful end to the season. Just seems to have boundless energy, the Irish centre-half. Sylvain Graglia, the substitute, has been yellow carded. Another free kick for Waitakere. Perhaps an opportunity to get things going quickly. De Vries up against Vero. Vero forced into some inventive defending. Butler. Pearce, can he get a cross in? Goes to the far post. Bit too much on it for Krishna. Well, the momentum's starting to shift back in Waitakere's favour. There's a few inquests going on out there amongst the Dragon players. Roche, won by Myers. Coombs, Krishna. He's popping up on the left and right, Roy Krishna. He's just trying to find himself the space to take on these defenders. Shelley for Myers. Prattley. That's a good ball by Prattley. Cut out by Wagman. De Vries was lurking. Valar. Oh, and that's sloppy from Nicola Valar. Makes up for it. Vero heads it forward. Jonathan Teho. Stevie Chong Hui's ball is stolen by Tim Myers, who does well to get it off to De Vries. Now De Vries with an opportunity. He plays in. Alan Pearce. Good save by Roche. Away by Valar. Well, the pendulum has swung back towards the home side. Forbear's clearance. Myers winning everything in the air at the moment. Raimana Lee-Funqui's given that straight to Coombs. Might fancy a long-range shot here, Chad Coombs, and he does. Oh, and it's punched away by Roche. The flag's gone up on the far side, and it's an offside. What a hit by Chad Coombs. You could almost see him thinking that he was well within range. This was the Pearce opportunity. Mikael Roche read it right.
Substitution for AS Dragon. Number 19, Vincent Simon, being replaced by number 16, Edson Lemire.
Edson Lemire has joined the action. Vincent Simon has been substituted for AS Dragon. Just over an hour gone. Waitakere starting to rediscover their self-belief. Valar hoists it forward. Myers will head that back gently to Danny Robinson. Well, this is where Waitakere is so dangerous with their backs to the wall. De Vries straight to Vero. They don't know when to give up. They don't know when any cause is lost, Waitakere. Not a bad clearance by Nicola Valar. Yannick Vero's picked it up. Now Graglia making a run forward. Raimana Lee-Funqui finds Graglia. Tries the first time cross. He might have taken a touch on another occasion. Raimana Lee-Funqui. Worked into a corner. Now Sylvain Graglia, the cross, cut out by Myers. Well, are we going to see this near post corner that Dragon seem to prefer? Nicola Cabale was the player who was taking up the near post options. This looks as though it's going to be a rework. This time to the far post. Wagman's header. Away by Prattley. Coombs has picked it up. There aren't too many options for him long. He tries to go against Graglia. There's a cross. Flag has gone up. Flag's gone up. Myers with a long ball forward. Henri Carouin content to just nod that one out. Prattley. De Vries. Matthews has a look over his shoulder. Picks out Brian Shelley. Scott. Pearce. Trying to get the better of the new man, Edson Lemaire. Jonathan Teho has given that up to Butler. There's a cross from Pearce. Krishna's hunting. Away by Vero. Krishna sets up Coombs. Blocked. Well, that was so close. It was Nicola Vella who got his body in the way of the Chad Coombs shot. Coombs might fancy another go. Krishna. Now Pearce. Dangerous times for Dragon. The cross first time. Vella's missed it. Coombs over the bar. In a spray of sand, Chad Coombs. He's unhappy with himself. He knows that was a great chance to put Waitakere in front. Here's the cross. It just caught the defence out. Vella's had a swing at it and missed. And Coombs scoops it over the top. Just under 25 minutes of this one to go. Waitakere 0, AS Dragon 0. This is another look at the... We'll come back to that in a moment as we see Myers pouring forward. Waitakere applying the pressure. De Vries can't find a way through. Vero's poked it only as far as Butler. Chance for Krishna. Oh, and Roy Krishna. Oh, he's missed it. Well, there's bodies strewn all over the penalty area. Krishna can't believe he's missed the target after doing all the hard work. Coach Paul Marshall, I can tell you, was a man under stress at the moment. Look at this. He just went by two players as if they weren't there. One touch, and then the shot wide. Now, Yannick Vero is the player who's currently down at the moment for AS Dragon. They have one more substitution to play. Ludovic Granier, if he wants it.
Other supporters of our club, tags are us, Billfish Cafe.
Vero's had an impressive game. In fact, AS Dragon back four has played particularly well.
Seahawk Fishing Charters, Indigo Print Centre, Fresh to Go, and Naylor Contractors.
Let's have another look at this moment where Yannick Vero, well, there's nothing malicious in there. It's just part of the job description that comes with being a defender. That looks like Vincent Simon, who was substituted earlier for another injury. Sometimes in OFC Champions League football, we do see sides from outside New Zealand sometimes crumbling or falling away in the dying moments of matches and scorelines blowing out. I just wonder if that's going to happen today. I can't see it myself. But that's not to discount the quality that Waitakere United possess. They've got lots of firepower out there. Chad Coombs is fouled. Suggestion by Karaween that it was a dive. Waitakere starting to push players forward. Let's have another look at that moment. Well, Coombs has been around a long time. There is the near post free kick. It's headed away. Lee Fong Kui got on the end of it. Prattley, there's players pushed up in a white wall for Waitakere. Krishna, Pearce, Butler. It's not a bad ball. Karaween's header. Coombs' shot is blocked by Jonathan Teho. Well, getting points on the road is so difficult that you must win your home matches. Scott winds across in. Pearce's header. Oh, and it's not far away either. It lacked power, but it had plenty of curve on it. Looked as though it might just drop into the back of the net. Waitakere's record in Tahiti is not the best, by the way. And a waypoint here for AS Dragon would be a huge triumph, not only on the points board, but psychologically. Lemaire's shot or cross is a poor one. It's another look at the cross that came in before the header. It might have come off the shoulder of Alan Pearce. Well, you can't let those bounce. Wagman taking a bit of a risk there. Teho, Raimana Lifankui, Jonathan Teho again. Ball there, that looked like a handball. Play on, says Rakesh Varman. Krishna goes around Wagman. Oh, and a chance for Prattley. Is that a penalty? Well, there's been no major protest from the Waitakere players. I've seen them given for less. Matthews. Pearce up against Lee Fung Kui. Step over. That's not a bad ball in. Taken comfortably by Mikael Roche. Borbert can counter-attack. Stevie Chonghui. Karaween. Borbert. He's managed to get it through to Gralia at the second attempt. He's got some wheels, Sylvain Gralia. No match for the experience of Brian Shelley. Prattley. Wagman guides that home to Mikael Roche, and he just says, let's try and calm things down. Well, look, Vero looked as though he got a foot on the ball, but it was his left arm that was a feature of concern from my perspective. Myers with a good header. It's gone all the way through to Roche. Myers again with commanding header. Henri Karaween. Yannick Vero. Raimana Lee Fung Kui. Pearce. Pearce again. Teho. Valar. Hooked away by Edson Lemaire. Now Vero. Raimana Lee Fung Kui straight to Sam Matthews. Vero's missed at the second attempt, but he's going to get the throw. Substitution coming up for Waitakere. It's Milos Nikolic replacing Ryan de Vries.
Substitution by Waitakere United. Number 20, Ryan de Vries, being replaced by number 9, Milos Nikolic.
Look at that shot from Chad Coombs on the 62-minute mark. Roche was so unsure of it, he elected to punch it with his fists. Butler's picked it up. Milos Nikolic. You get the feeling that sometimes Waitakere just will themselves into winning football matches. Garali has picked up a free kick. And a bit of a nick, perhaps from Aaron Scott, which you don't see too often. Borbert. Teho. Wagman. Vero. Jonathan Teho. Wagman forced into playing it first time. Good pressure by Nikolic. Coombs. Struggles to keep that in. Dragon have a throw in just inside the Waitakere half. Sylvain Gralia trying to run at them now. Pearce. Valar. Well, the game is opening up. Waitakere know the price of dropping points at home is a big one. It does mean having to go to Tahiti to pick something up. Potentially. We're far from finished yet. Brian Shelley making a big run forward. Pearce has given it straight to Nicola Vella. Oh, and Sylvain Grali is onside. And he doesn't come up with anything. Probably needed to give that a bit more thought, Sylvain Grali. Edson Lemire, lovely touch by the substitute. He's going to need to offload it though. Grali has given that straight back to Waitakere, but Dragon will restart with a throw. Just under quarter of an hour left at Fred Taylor Park. Waitakere United 0. AS Dragon 0. Matthews. Ball bare. Raimana Lifankui has a quick look over his shoulder. Coombs has pulled him back. He's going to get a yellow card for that. Chad Coombs. Yeah, pretty clear there that Lifankui was held back. Louis Del Monte being prepped for action for Waitakere United. Acrobatic clearance by Alan Pearce. Coombs for Matthews. Tristan Prattley. Jonathan Teho for Yannick Vero. And, well, the ball intended for Jonathan Teho would have found Teho offside. Now Nikolic. Ball stayed in. Henri Karawin appealing for a throw. It's given to Waitakere. Look at the tension on that bench. This instructions being handed out by Grania and Paul Marshall, urging their teams on. There's still plenty to play for. You could just see one goal deciding this. Chad Coombs is being replaced by Louis Del Monte.
Substitution by Waitakere United, number 8, Chad Coombs, being replaced by number 11, Louis Del Monte.
Ross goal kick. Helped on by Gralia. Shelley hoisting it forward. And an opportunity for Dragon to restart again. Butler, Matthews, Nikolic, Del Monte. Excellent ball by Del Monte. Nikolic is unmarked if Pearce can find the ball to provide him with. And there's an offside, a clear offside. Stevie Chong Hui, who has somewhat drifted out of the game, was just trying to steal a couple of extra yards on Tim Myers. That's a short ball. Ball Bears picked it up. Now he's one-on-one and plays it off to Stevie Chong Hui. Hui has not got the legs to get through. Good header from Prattley. Nikolic. Straight to Karawin. Henri Karawin. Wagman. Lee Funkui goes down. It's a free kick. Well, Teanui Tehau is getting ready for action for AS Dragon. So the final substitution coming up. Maybe Stevie Chong Hui is going to be the player replaced. Lee Funkui's free kick's not the best of takes. Now Krishna. Aaron Scott still bursting forward. Pearce is starting to drift now. There's no one picking him up. Matthews. Look at the space that Pearce has got. Del Monte. Pearce. Nikolic. Will he fancy it on his right foot? Nikolic. It's taken a deflection. It'll be a corner. Just over 10 minutes to go. Is this the moment for Waitakere United? Are the New Zealand champions able to get the goal they so desperately crave? Not this time. Roche has picked it up. Looking for Lee Fung Kui, ambitious from Mikael Roche. Substitution will be processed. It is Stevie Chonghui who is replaced, and it is Tianui Teho.
Substitution for AS Dragon, number 13, Stevie Chonghui, being replaced by number 21, Tianui Teho.
Look at that corner. Really easy for Mikael Roche. Del Monte. There's a chance of trying to find Nikolic. Oh, they've given it straight to Alan Pearce. Can he punish them? Sets it up for Butler with the outside of the right foot. Fails to test the goalkeeper. So much emotional investment by Waitakere in getting off to a good start in this OFC Champions League. And at the moment, AS Dragon are doing everything necessary to clinch a vital away point. Oh, Wagman's not even bothered jumping for that. Nicola Vella. Borbert. And this is where Waitakere come into their own here. They're so used to winning matches in the final moments. They've worked hard on their fitness, dating back to Paul Marshall's appointment in the pre-season. And the question mark has to be raised over whether or not AS Dragon can cope with what Waitakere are about to throw at them. There's plenty of time for the West Aucklanders to score a goal. Well, the tricky part about that for a referee is obviously Hermano Borbert coming in from behind, even though he won the ball.
Just a reminder to check out the club website, waitakereunited.co.nz, for updates of OFC Champions League matches. We are due to play Auckland City next Saturday. We have asked for it to be Sunday. We'll update that as soon as we can on the website.
Anxious moments for Paul Marshall. Very definitely a heart on the sleeve character, Paul Marshall. Popular with those who play for him. Perhaps not so popular with opposition supporters, but definitely adds character and colour. Nikolic. Sylvain Grali has picked it up. Hermano Borbert. Jonathan Teho. Aaron Scott tidying up. Butler's tried to flick one in behind Edson Lemaire. It's picked up by Lemaire. Now Del Monte. Sylvain Gralia. Trying to find Tianui Teho. Butler can spray it wide here. Prattley's in plenty of space. Myers goes past Tianui Teho. Matthews finds Del Monte. Wagman. Lee Fung Kui. Counter attack for AS Dragon. Pearce not giving up. It's going to be a free kick. Waitakere's way. puzzlement on the AS Dragon bench, but Paul Marshall was convinced of it. Yeah, clear one, the legs getting tangled up, and I think that was Lee Fung Kui who began that. Oh, and here's Karaween. Raimana Lee Fung Kui, can he finish? Tries to set it up for Tianui Teho. Desperate stuff. Last ditch defending from Waitakere. Lee Fung Kui might have fancied it himself another day, but I think those legs are rather heavy as Vero lashes one high and wide. Just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Never a penalty. Jonathan Teho's header. Raimana Lee Fung Kui has been a handful today. Trying to play it into the corner for Jonathan Teho, but just can't get his calibration right. Myers. Tianui Teho pressing high on Shelley. AS Dragon moments away from an historic away point in New Zealand. Their first game in the OFC Champions League in the club's history, and they could be about to rewrite some of that history on behalf of Tahitian clubs in Division Federal. Vero. Jonathan Teho's given it back to Nikolic. Pressure off Waitakere. Plenty of space for Nikolic to punch into. Prattley plays him in. Karaween picks it up. He's had a good game, Henri Karaween. Raimana Lee Fung Kui for Jonathan Teho's dropped deeper here. Sylvain Gralia forward. Scott. Del Monte. Hermano Borbert has just offered AS Dragon a dimension that some Tahitian clubs haven't been able to harness over the years, and that is an engine. He's just been full of energy. Henri Karaween the same.
Being replaced by 19, Daniel Morgan.
Substitution is confirmed. It's Daniel Morgan on. Alan Pearce off for Waitakere United. Jonathan Teho. Henri Karaween. Lovely step over. Nicola Vella. Wagman. Away by Roche. Offside flag goes up. Well, Waitakere would be as well to throw players forward here in an attempt to win this game. I've got three pressing high when the ball's in wide areas. That's Krishna, Nikolic, and Del Monte goes to join in. But this AS Dragon outfit is proving a tough nut to crack. Borbert. Two and a half minutes remain. Matthews. Nicola Vella has won the ball back. Raimana Lee Fung Kui has it. Tianui Teho against Brian Shelley. First time shot. Oh, and it forces Robinson into the save. It was going wide. But nevertheless, something for Waitakere to think about. Now, in terms of the additional time to be played, Mirko Benishka is about to raise the additional minutes. I think it's going to be 4, which is plenty. We saw how much Waitakere thrived in those final moments of normal time in the ASB Premiership Grand Final. I wouldn't put it beyond them to do the same here. Myers, Nikolic, Shelley, Krishna, Butler are all forward. Del Monte's ball in, it's not a bad one, punched by Roche. Borbert picks it up. Lee Fung Kui can't go beyond Del Monte. Dan Morgan, Krishna with a shot, and it's wide. Well, 1 point to start the campaign would be disappointing from a Waitakere perspective, but it would be far from the end of the world. Remember, the top 2 teams in each section advance to the semi-finals. Myers has picked up for a foul. I didn't detect one myself. Opportunity for Dragon to perhaps take some of the intensity out of the dying moments of this match. 4 minutes confirmed, minimum.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes added time for this game.
Time added on.
4 minutes added.
Valar, Karaween, always giving that away to Morgan. Dan Morgan goes against Tamatoa Wagman. What can he produce? Karaween's picked it up. Well, AS Dragon can ill afford to get sloppy or casual here. They've done the lion's share of the work, but it's not over. Jonathan Teho. Well played by Teho. Edson Lemaire. Looking for Gralia. So 90 minutes is up. We're into the final 4 minutes minimum of time added on. Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0. Butler. Is this the moment for Waitakere? The skipper picks it up. Can't find a way through Jake Butler. Jonathan Teho. Now, Raimana Lifankui has got Gralia in front of him. First touch isn't a good one. It's a corner, though. Can AS Dragon steal the points? What drama we've got here in the closing moments. First touch was a heavy one by Sylvain Gralia. Brian Shelley, as ever, providing the cover. So Raimana Lifankui with the corner. Yannick Veros at the near post. Jonathan Teho at the near post. It swung in. Free header, and it's wide. It was Sylvain Gralia with the free header. History about to be written for the Tahitian club champions. They will become the first club from French Polynesia in OFC Champions League history to come to Waitakere and avoid defeat. If they can hold out, and there's no guarantee of that. You write Waitakere United off at your peril. Krishna loses out to Lemaire, still a Waitakere throw. It's taken quickly to Butler. And it's a free kick to Waitakere in a really handy position. This could be the moment. This could be the moment for the West Aucklanders, the New Zealand champions. The 4 in a row ASB Premiership champions. Now Dan Morgan on this left foot could swing one in here, and if it just gets a graze, it could pose problems for Mikael Roche. Sam Matthews is lurking on the edge of the box for any afters. Oh, and it's found its way in. Karaween up against Butler. Chipped back in by Butler, the header, and it's wide. It's Del Monte's header. Ludovic Graunja, the AS Dragon coach, indicates to his players 1 minute left of the additional time, by his watch at least. Prattley. Dan Morgan punching forward. Ball clipped into the centre half position. It's taken by Valar. Tamatoa Wagman. Teanui Teho for Sylvain. Well, they're getting in each other's way, the two Dragon players. Teho. Teanui Teho is stopped by Sam Matthews. And he's conceded a silly free kick. Tempers starting to fray here at Fred Taylor Park. Danny Robinson urging everybody forward. He's conscious of the time, the Waitakere goalkeeper. Well, Robinson's going to bomb this as far as he can. He's urging all of his players forward. Launches it. Tamatoa Wagman's header. Oh, and it's Roy Krishna He turns. Stabbed away by Tamata Wagman. Now Nicola Vella. Raimana Lifonkwe on the break. Sylvain Gralia. Easy for Tim Myers. And it's the final whistle, and it's greeted with cheers by the AS Dragon supporters who've come to Fred Taylor Park. There is a small group of them. What a start to this OFC Champions League 2013 season.
That is scheduled for Saturday.
AS Dragon in their first OFC Champions League match in the club's history have managed to do what no other Tahitian club has done before. They've come away from Fred Taylor Park with a point. It's the ideal start for the Tahitians. Plenty for the New Zealand champions to consider.
Snell Packaging, Lotto Sportswear, RQ Group.
They swept all before them in the domestic competitions, their own domestic treble of sorts. They found the going a little bit tougher up against AS Dragon.
The original Aussie butcher.
The final score, Waitakere United 0, AS Dragon 0.
Seahawk Fishing Charters, Indigo Print Centre, Fresh to Go, and Naylor Contracting. We give great thanks.
Just 2 minutes into the second half, there was an opportunity for Waitakere to take the lead. It came to Chad Coombs.
Throughout the whole year.
The move began with De Vries and Alan Pearce. The cover was provided by Raimana Lifonkwe, and then with Mikael Roche exposed, Coombs could only stab the ball past the post.
Thank you to our ball kids.
This opportunity then arrived. There were players queuing up. Excellent header from Stevie Chungwei. And Yannick Vero had 2 stabs at it. Robinson saved one of them. Intelligent header. Good strike. Struck, looks like Jake Butler. And then Waitakere managed to get the danger clear. Flip back in. Jonathan Teho, Stevie Chungwei. It's a combination that proved extremely handy for AS Dragon today. Back heel from Hermano Borbert, and it released Nicola Vella. Got into a good scoring position, but could only manufacture a weak shot. Sorry, that's Raimana Lifonkwe. Just didn't have any power. Waitakere had another excellent chance. This time it was Alan Pearce. The goalkeeping was top notch. And the run was timed to perfection. Henri Karawin was looking for an offside. It didn't come. Look at this rasping shot from Chad Coombs. It had a bit of curve in its late trajectory that forced Mikael Roche into a punch rather than trying to catch it. Coombs is famed for his ability to hit the dead ball from distance. Alan Pearce had another opportunity. He was just trying to tee himself up, set it in for Jake Butler, and the Waitakere skipper couldn't find his best work. And the final opportunity for Tainui Teho of AS Dragon came from a Raimana Lifonkwe through ball. Brian Shelley was monitoring the progress of Tainui Teho, and the youngster just couldn't get any power or accuracy on it. Still forced Danny Robinson into a save. So coach Ludovic Graugnard is with Olivier Hook.
I am with Ludovic. Ludovic, what did you think about this match here in Waitakere? Qu'est-ce que tu as pensé de ce premier match ici à Waitakere?
Ouais, je pense que sur l'ensemble du match, on prend un bon point ici à Waitakere. On était venu pour chercher des points. Maintenant, on a subi quand même quelques situations très très dangereuses.
Waitakere was really dangerous, and I think it's a really good point. It's 1 point, a really good point for us.
Et ouais, je pense qu'avec un peu plus d'efficacité, ils auraient pu ouvrir le score. Après, nous, on a les situations pour aussi les tuer en contre. Donc au final, on est plutôt satisfait du match nul.
Yeah, we had the opportunity also to score in 1 and 2 counter-attack, but they have a lot of opportunities too. They were not really efficient, but I think we are really happy of this point. La suite du programme, what's next for you, for Dragon?
La suite, c'est récupération dès demain matin et on s'envole pour Nouméa, pour le deuxième match vendredi à Nouméa.
And now we go back, we have a good rest and we go back now to New Caledonia to play against Mondor. Congratulations, thank you.
Well, a very happy coach, Ludovic Granier of AS Dragon. He's made a wee bit of history for himself and his club. His players have turned in a very good performance and a valuable away point for the Tahitian champions in their opening OFC Champions League match. One man who is never short of a word is Waitakere United coach Paul Marshall, and he is with Olivier Hook.
Tell me a little bit what is your thoughts after this match against AS Dragon?
Oh, you know, I mean, it's we knew it was going to be a tough encounter today, you know, but you know, we played extremely well. We defended well for the entire match and created probably 6, if not 7, clear-cut goal scoring chances, and you know, we've got to be putting those away if we want to win these matches. And for me, it was at least a 3-0 win that we unfortunately haven't put to bed today. And but you know, look, there's a long way to go in this campaign, and you know, we've got a great bunch of players and a great group, and yeah, we're looking forward to obviously getting Dragon up there now that we've got a little bit of footage to analyse just what they do. I think that'll make a big difference for us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
A disappointed coach Paul Marshall, who felt that his team have really missed a big opportunity to pick some points up. So that concludes our coverage of today's OFC Champions League fixture between Waitakere United and AS Dragon. It has finished 0-0. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and on behalf of OFC TV, take care wherever you are, and we will see you again next time.